Cards and White Sox tonight in Chicago. It's raining. We are expected to play eventually, but not on time. Looks like they're catching a few Z's there before first pitch.
Sounds like a good plan of attack right there.
I guess so. So
stay dry.
There's a live look at the field with the tarp on it. Again, we should get the game.
I see some blue right there, Al.
Okay, that's good.
We got a window.
Let's do it. Time for the Ohio Lottery. This week in history, we go back to May 12th of 2008 when Asdrubal Cabrera turned the 14th unassisted triple play in MLB history against Toronto. Cabrera made a diving catch on a liner by Lyle Overbay, touched second base, and then tagged out former Cleveland farmhand Marco Scudero. It's one of 3 unassisted triple plays in franchise history, the most famous one by Bill Wambsgans, of course, in the 1920 World Series, which I'm sure that, Chris, you saw that. No, wait, it's not that old. Never mind.
Just because I don't have hair, Al, doesn't mean I'm that old.
Oh, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Welcome back. He is Chris Jimenez. I'm Al Pulowski. Andre Knott is standing by in Chicago now. Andre, we've got Ben Lively on the hill tonight, but more importantly, where is your mustache? Oh, it's there.
It is there. I see
Slowly
it.
but surely. Come on now.
Looking good.
Come on, if I got to put some makeup on.
Hey, man, you
and
look
from my
better than
TV
people
days. Chris, don't get me in trouble. But I agree with you. Hey, I've done TV long enough. We can do some penciling in if I need to, but this will be the Chicago look for now. You guys are right. We're well start on time. Don't go anywhere. We've got some great stuff coming up.
Welcome back into our broadcast booth. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, and Andre Knott joins us now. You know, you guys, you look at the Central Division, and over the last few years, a lot of changes in terms of managing. Matt Quatraro in his second year in Kansas City, Pedro Grifol here in Chicago in his second year, and, of course, Stephen Vogt in his first year. And I bring this up because, Dre, Stephen Vogt, everywhere we go, he gets asked about being a new manager, and he's quick to point out, while he's a new manager, he's been around guys with a huge amount of baseball experience, like Bob Melvin. He has spent time around some guys with great baseball minds. And you look at Matt Quatraro, he spent time with Tito and Kevin Cash. There's something about those old school baseball guys like Ron Washington, who we just saw recently in Cleveland.
Yeah, and you look at the Angels situation, I don't know what direction they're going in, but I think they realize we got to get a baseball guy in here to make baseball decisions. And because you look at that roster, Arch, and it's like, what are they doing? But they're competing. They just won a series after they left Cleveland.
Well, he's a baseball lifer, is Washington. You know, he's not going to let it go down the tube. He's going to teach these young players that he has, how to play the game of baseball the right way. And, that's a start.
Yes.
They haven't had that out there since Mike Scioscia was over there, I think. And I'm not knocking any managers whatsoever. No. It's just been a strange organization out there.
It is. But to go back off what you're talking about, Matt, I love that when we talked to Stephen Vogt today, there was a guy he asked, and he went through like 7 managers. And I think the writer was kind of like blown up, like, wait a minute, just give me one guy that helped you. And he's like, no. Every guy that I played for that was successful.
Bruce Bochy, Bob Melvin. He was going on Brian Snitker. I mean, he rattled off everybody that he's been under has had an impact on him.
Right. And I think when you look at the Angels and when we get to sit down with Ron Washington, you want your younger coaches and the people around baseball to hear what he has to say about where the game is at.
Wash, what does it mean to you with how baseball is set up right now that somebody took a chance to give you a job still at the age you were at and how long you've been in baseball?
It means everything, because if you've never sat in a manager's seat, you don't know how much that means. It means a ton to put in all the work behind the scene and then watch your guys go out there and play the game the way you vision it and the way y'all talked about how we want it to be, and to watch it come to fruition, that's beautiful. So it's the most happiest moment in my life right now.
What motivates you to still want to do? I mean, you got a young team. I look over, you got a lot of young guys that probably don't even know you played. So, so what motivates you?
Well, what motivates me is the love for the game, the love for trying to make a difference, the love for helping these young men realize their dreams, and the work that it takes to realize that dream is not just a thought. There's got to be action behind your thought, and to make them understand that if you believe in something and you're willing to put in the time and you're willing to go through all the obstacles that will be in front of you, you can accomplish it. They've been playing the game of baseball all their life, so working at it shouldn't be an issue. And I love the fact that I'm a worker. I'm trying to teach this young group how to work, and I do believe at some point we're going to meet our vision.
Let me ask you about Stephen Vogt real quick, because you were able to be around him for about 3 years. Just a year out of playing baseball. What's the first thing you would try to help him with or tell him, being so close to the game but now managing the game?
Love your players. Make them understand what your vision is. do the work for that vision, be consistent in your work for that vision, and as long as they know that you care about them, they're going to do whatever you want them to do and however you want them to do it. And that's the one thing I did tell Stephen. And I think if you talk to him, he'll talk a lot about love.
Yeah. That word has become, you already know, that's one of the biggest words in the clubhouse right now.
Yeah.
How you knew already?
Well, because of the type of person he is. And he's been around clubhouses where that's the main thing, caring about each other. And I'm talking about love, and hug and kiss is part of it. But I'm talking about love and struggling with you, being there for you when you're not doing well, being there for you when you are doing well, caring about one another, helping each other through the turmoil. That's the type of love I'm talking about. And that's the way Stephen was when he was a player. He was a big community guy. He really cared about people. So I'm not surprised that this opportunity is given to him. And he's going to take advantage of it. I use the word given. We like to earn what we get, and it wasn't given to him. Somebody believed in him, and you need someone to believe in you to get that opportunity, and he's going to definitely take advantage of it.
Let me ask you this. Last year, after we'd seen you with the Braves, towards the end of the year, we put up a thing during the game of the guys that had played the most games in a row. And I swear to you not, 5 of the 6 have been around you. And I blurted out, I go, those are all wash guys. Why do you think, and I don't got the Olsons, why do you think these guys play all these games in a row when you know how it is? You got doctors now, you got people that tell you how much a guy shouldn't play. Why do you think, and why is that important to you guys that you coach to play every day?
Because that's what they do. They come to the ballpark and they work at their game every single day for each other. And when you work that way for each other, your presence becomes more important than your performance. And what keeps them on the field is their presence. They want to be there for each other. And it doesn't matter how you feel or how you think you feel. The problem is my presence. And whether Olsen, Raleigh, Ozzie, those guys over there, whether they perform or not, it really doesn't matter, because the only thing that matters is their presence. And their presence is being in that lineup through struggle and through good times.
Simeon was in there too.
Marcus, no doubt about it. He's an animal. Those guys I'm describing, they're animals. They want to play every day. They don't come to the ballpark to take a day off. They don't come to the ballpark worrying about what their stats are. They come to the ballpark to be there for each other, and that's why they are winners.
Is that something that you can build in the guys that you're managing right now?
No doubt about it. It's going to take some time, because they've never had to experience showing up to the ballpark, being ready to play every single day, no matter what. And it's going to take a minute, and I'm willing to give them that minute. And those that can, they will be around, and those that can't, they will be somewhere else.
I told you my little guy was angry that Trout wasn't going to be here this weekend. For an elder statesman of baseball, for those out there that say this game isn't still the best game and kids don't love it, they do. You see it. Yeah. But what does baseball have to do to make the rest of America see how important it is?
Just make certain that we don't disrespect the game. All the rule changes, I know they did them for the fans. The only part of the rule changes I don't like is the parts with the pitchers. You only can go out there so many times. They got an amount of time that they have to throw the ball to the plate. I understand they're trying to quicken up the game, but that pitcher is the only one out there on the island by himself. He's out there. He's got 9 guys on the field trying to get him. He got the other 15 guys or 16 guys in a dugout trying to figure out how to get him. Oh, you seen that? You seen this? And he's out there by himself. So I think he should have the time to just be who he is. Other than that, I think the fans, and especially the little kids, they're seeing what they want to see. Mo balls leaving the ballpark. I think they're all beginning to see a quicker game now as far as the base paths go. Everybody's starting to run the base paths again. But we can't forget about the main things of the game, and that's pitching, defense. You got to pitch, and you got to catch the ball. And if you're not pitching and you're not catching the ball, it's not fun. So I just think the fans have done a good job of saying what they would like to see, and now that they're seeing it, they need to keep coming to the ballpark.
Absolutely. All right, I was one more thing. He getting tired, but I got it. Every park I go to now, when I see somebody else doing a drill, all I hear you say is, "They copying you."
Well, it's a facsimile, and I've always believed that if you come to me and I give something to you, although I might have invented it or I came up with it, and you use it, it's not mine anymore. It's yours. They could never do it the way I do it. But whatever they do to help their young infielders, if it helps their young infielders. But I've been doing what I've been doing since 1990. I was doing it in the minor leagues since 1990 after I retired. So, and as years have come along, it's progressed. And it's nice to see people doing what they think they need to do. And you could see some facsimile of it, but they'll never get it what I do because I'm the inventor. And I'm not feeling bad about the fact that they're around here doing what they're doing. Again, it's what they feel can help their young players develop. And if a little bit of what I do can help them develop, I'm on board because I'm about making a difference, and I know what I do will make a difference.
Wash, thank you. As usual, you're the absolute best, man. We appreciate you. Always want you in the game.
Well, thank you, and I'm going to stay in this game as long as my brains work. When I start to getting senile, I know it's time to go.
Hey, thank you for bringing Wash.
No problem.
I mean, to our telecast. We love him. You can see why. He's got such a love and passion for the game. The thing that stands out for me of all the things he said was, I'm a worker. Mm. And I think about this guy over here. You know, Rick Manning, I've been around him a long time. He's never once said, when I did it this way. When I did it, we did it that way. No player today wants to hear how you did it in your day. All they want to know is, how can you help me be a better player? And Wash does it the old-fashioned way. Yes. Roll up your sleeves, and he does it with hard work. Even though he played a long time, he could sit back and rest on his laurels and say, well, this is the way I did it. He doesn't do that.
No, he doesn't. And I think that's the thing. He's evolved, and he understands the players. They just want somebody to help them make them a better player. And when you see him at the park as early as he's at the park with the same attitude every day, you can't go in and have a bad attitude if you're playing for the Angels right now. You got to be serious. Like, he doesn't let you. And I watch other teams, but he sits out there when guys are going out for BP or whatever else, says hi to every one of them, makes them look at him and talk to him.
Yep.
You have to play it the right way when you're around Juan Washington.
When you're a baseball lifer like he is, it's never about him. He shares the love of the game that he learned from some great players, some great coaches, and people around the game, and he shares all that love. And you know what? If you want to pick it up and incorporate it into your game, you're more than willing to do that. A lot of these kids, you know, you can tell them till you're blue in the face, and you know, why can't you bunt? Why can't you hit and run? Why can't you do stuff? Because you can be told something, but you better work on it and improve your game. Other than that, it can't be done.
Rick, who impacted you as a coach or even a manager that had an impact on you that helped you become a better player?
Dave Garcia would be one that comes to mind, where, you know, he just kept telling you how to play the game and what it's like and what the fans look for you. And then other players can help you, whether it's hitting and run, whether it's a Toby Harrah, Buddy Bell. Play with a lot of good players that do a lot of different things. But you have to incorporate it into your game to make you a better player. And if you're not going to put the work in, then you're wasting everybody else's time as a player. Yeah. So the player's got to take a little more accountability, because you can have the greatest baseball people in the world. If you don't work, it's not gonna help you.
And he's going through that with a couple of his young outfielders.
Sure.
And I told Arch before this, he kind of told me, he goes, I'm going to all those guys that were drafted in the first round, and I'm going, they drafted you in the first round, I'm going to play you and make you, you're supposed to be one of my best players.
That's right. So let's see what you got.
He's putting it back upon them. I'll work, but
that's
you
what you should
play.
do. That's absolutely what you should do. And it's fun to watch our team.
Yes.
How they go out and they work day in and day out on these fundamentals, on these drills. We're one of the few teams that go out and throw outfield to the bases every time we go into a new ballpark. They're taking balls off the wall. The outfielders are doing their thing. It's a treat to watch, because these kids are doing something different every day, and not a lot of teams do that.
One thing to you, were you surprised when I asked him what he didn't like how pitchers are being treated?
Yeah. I think that's a manager thing. I think every
Yeah.
manager, you're scared to death because these are the lifeblood of your organization. And when I hand you the ball every 5 days to go out there and pitch, I need you to do your job. And if the rules are prohibiting you from doing your job to the best of your abilities, then that hurts me as a manager.
That's true. But I mean, I like, because when Arch chuckled, he goes, all them guys out there looking around talking about you. You out there by yourself.
That's right. You are. And they're looking for one mistake.
everything,
One little mistake you make, we're going to jump on you and get you out of the game. I promise.
I think that's the one thing that's really jumped out to me with regards to Stephen Vogt. And again, he's in his first year. He, as he's expressed to us, he's still learning on the job as this thing evolves. But he's a very positive guy. And Rick has said a number of times, look, this game is so hard to play. It's built on failure, right? And you need that positive reinforcement. Now, nobody needs to hear false modesty. Right. They need to be told when you're not doing your job. But you also need to get propped up once in a while. And Rick, you said Frank Howard was a great positive influence as a hitting coach.
As a hitting coach, yeah. It's not that he made you change or anything like that. He got into your head and gave you a positive. What are you looking for, young man? I'd say a fastball. Good for you. Well, then you go out and you get that fastball and you hit it. Right. And you hit it hard. I mean, that's all he would do. He would just, pat you on the back. Yeah. And if you struck out, he'd come back and he'd say, were you looking for that fastball? He said, don't worry. It's going to be that much shorter the next time you face it. So make sure you don't miss it. Just little things like that to get into their head.
All right, well, the good news is the tarp is off the field. The grounds crew has gone to work. We understand it sounds like about a 7:20, maybe 7:25 first pitch. So stay with us. The Guardians Report is coming up next, and then we've got baseball from the south side of Chicago.